Hey there, Fizz fans! Thanks for joining me today for another episode of Bubble Crossed. Today we have what I call a before and after carbonation. Now, if you've been following along, I did this once before with something, a Tampico juice drink. It has very little juice at all. But this one is a little bit different. Today what we have is a Japanese product called Calpico. Now, Calpico, in its native Japan, is actually called Calpis. But because that sounds so much like something else, I'll leave that to your imagination, they decided to change the name when they moved it to English-speaking countries, and they call it Calpico. What this is, as you can see, a concentrate, and you're supposed to mix it with water to dilute it down to the proper concentration. Simple enough. Before I go into how I did that and all that other good stuff, though, let me give you, first of all, a little bit of background on the product. It has been around a long, long time. A fellow named, if I'm pronouncing this correctly, Kairi Mishurna, apparently a Japanese fellow who traveled to Mongolia, of all places, and discovered a similar drink that they drank and how it fortified their digestive system. Reason being, it was a fermented beverage, a fermented milk beverage. Not so similar from, like liquid yogurt or whatever. He visited there in 1904, he brought it back, it became a product, Calpis, in 1919, and has been popular pretty much ever since. This white and blue motif, the polka dot motif, has been around almost since the beginning, although the original one was blue paper with white polka dots. And yeah, that's about it. I mean, the big thing that strikes me about this is that even though it is a fermented milk beverage, it does not have any live or active cultures. It is pasteurized, apparently, before bottling. So you retain the yogurty taste without the yogurty cultures. They're all killed in the process. Which, although some studies have suggested that dead bacteria can do your system some good, most people agree that the live and active ones are the ones that really do the most for you. So, this little bottle, which is 15.9 fluid ounces, 470 milliliters, supposed to make 81 fluid ounces, or 2.4 liters. That's because you dilute it. You use 1 part Calpico concentrate to 4 parts water. Now, how I did this is I mixed up a 16-ounce batch, a double batch, and decanted it into 2 different bottles, one of which I fizzed and one of which I did not. The one that I fizzed lightly. You can see here I can even squish the bottle still. Reason I did that is most of the Japanese soft drinks that I have tasted, matter of fact all of them that I can think of, are very lightly carbonated. They aren't hyper fizzy like I tend to like other things. So I have tasted this non-carbonated. I have not tasted it carbonated, so this will be a true taste test for me as well as for you. Okay, so let me uncover my notes. My notes, make sure I don't skip anything for you. I did mention the bottle. This is plastic. It also comes in cartons in some places. I have no idea where I got this. Actually, I ordered it online. I don't even remember which company I ordered it from, but I just opened it a few days ago, so it's okay. It's fresh. But yeah, it also comes in cartons, and of course in Japan it comes in plastic bottles, both carbonated and non-carbonated. They also have some fruit-flavored ones in Japan, but I haven't seen anything like that in this country. So, as far as ingredients, we have water, sugar, non-fat dry milk, treated with a lactic acid culture, artificial flavor, and soy fiber. The artificial flavor, if I understand correctly, is a mild citrusy flavor. In the original, at least. calories for an 1/8 fluid ounce mixed the way that it suggests is 110, so comparable to a Coke or a Pepsi, and that's about it. Yeah, it doesn't have anything especially high like sodium or protein or anything like that. Some try to sell this off as a health drink. No, it's got too much sugar probably for that, but especially considering it doesn't have active cultures. So anyway, first I will test the uncarbonated version. As you can see, I decanted it after I mixed it in the 16-ounce portion. I decanted it in my little bottles. That's why I save my bottles. The smell is very faint. It does smell a little yogurty, maybe even buttermilky. I don't smell much of the citrus. And we pour it out into the glass, and of course, nothing special there, because no carbonation to look at. But just to give you a close-up, it is milky white. It's not as opaque as milk is, but it's milky for sure. In the glass, it's got about the same amount of smell. Nothing special. Just a little bit yogurty. No bubbles to judge here, so mouthfeel is fairly watery with a gritty finish. I assume that's the lactic acid getting onto my palate and staying there. Most acids have that propensity. Like when you're sampling Coke over Pepsi, you might notice that the Coke has a grittier feel. I think that's because it has a much higher phosphoric acid content. The taste is actually quite hard to describe. But let's go with the sweetness first. It's pretty sweet. It does have a tartness to it, but there's no mistaking this for yogurt. It is very sweet. It may be yogurt-y, but it is not yogurt for sure. Even sweetened yogurt isn't this sweet. That said, the sweetness is natural, as is the tartness. It's got that little lactic acid bite. As far as the flavor goes, I can't really make a judgment as to whether it's true to labeling because it is a product unto itself. However, I can tell you, if you took yogurt, watered it down, added a bunch of sugar, and maybe a squeeze of, very small squeeze of something citrusy, like lemon or lime, then you would have something akin to this. That's about the best way I can describe it. Because, yeah, it's got the grittiness of yogurt, but the sweetness of a soft drink. Now, let's see if carbonating it, just a wee bit, the way the Japanese like to, will make any difference in how it presents. A little bit of fizz there when we open it. Oh. Maybe just me, but that seems to bring out the citrusiness a little bit more. As you can see, there's a few little bubbles there, but nothing significant because I didn't carbonate it too highly. I gotta say, carbonating it makes it better. That extra tang of tartness is nice. It still has the same, mouthfeel and grittiness to the finish, but unlike what I would imagine carbonated yogurt or carbonated milk to taste like, this is quite good. It really does bring out the citrusiness a bit more. I don't know how, but that's one of the things I love about carbonation, is how it changes things. So yeah, if you have the ability and you get hold of some of this that isn't carbonated, I definitely recommend trying carbonating it. I can't really pass judgment on how carbonated it is, or how coarse or how fizzy or how coarse or fine the bubbles are, because I did it, so I can't blame them for what I did. Pairings, golly gee whiz, what would this go well with? It has enough flavor, more than enough flavor, to stand up to almost anything, I'd say. Obviously, if you pair it with something citrusy, like a key lime pie or a ceviche or whatever, it's gonna wash that out a bit. But by and large, I'd say it goes with almost anything. What would it go especially well with, though? Think. Probably, I'd say this would go really well with sushi, actually. Especially considering you're going to be, cleansing your palate with the ginger in between. Yeah, that would go really well. What else? Most any meat dish that doesn't, rely on citrus, I suppose. Chicken, pork, even beef. It's got plenty of body to stand up to it. So that's all good. So as far as my opinion goes, I like it. It's not going to be one of my favorite beverages or anything, but especially carbonated, I really do like it. I would absolutely recommend you give it a shot, because, even without the, shall we say, nutritional value of the live and active cultures, pardon me, it's a pretty tasty drink. So, there you have it. That is my review before and after carbonation of Calpico concentrate. Happy Japanese thing. I love Japanese things. You'll find this out. You'll see me review more Japanese things than you would believe in the coming months. But anyway, I hope that if you've tried this, you'll leave me a comment and let me know what you think of it. And I invite you to like and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate you checking out my Patreon account, which I'm going to put a link to in the bottom box here. And I hope that you all have a wonderful day, and that you stay fizzy.